Fitting tributes being considered about our late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And let's not forget, after 70 years on the throne, there are many gems to pick from. A lot of people, of course, want to have a brand new holiday named after her, which is rather fitting. They're also looking at statues, all sorts of things. And when you think about it, when a royal of that magnitude sadly does leave us, if you only look back to, say, Queen Victoria, what a mark she left on this world. And as many people know who've come to London, many things are called Victoria or Victoria and Albert, like the museum, but many things, there's statues and clocks which were put up all over the United Kingdom to celebrate her reign during her lifetime and afterwards. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when you go to Kensington Park, Kensington Gardens, just outside Kensington Palace, there's this great little thing that you can press and you can actually hear Queen Victoria speaking for the very first time. Apparently it was recorded more or less after the phonograph was invented by Thomas Edison in 1888. She was very nervous about recording it because obviously it's not like today with microphones and things. She had to speak into this huge speaker and was a little bit nervous, as you can imagine. I mean, let's face it, Queen Victoria did many firsts, didn't she? You know, she was the first royal on a train, the first royal on a bus, you know, all of that sort of stuff. She opened a lot of things because the Victorians really changed a lot of the United Kingdom, England, the empire, whatever you want to call it. Fascinating stuff. So now, according to a very good source, they're looking at something similar for our late monarch, and let me explain. The idea is to replicate something very similar to what I've just mentioned here in Kensington Gardens, and I think it's a good idea really. What they're looking at is something that's never been heard from our late monarch before, perhaps a speech privately or something like that, because they want her voice to live on. And I think, as I say, it's a great idea. The snatch that you only hear of Queen Victoria is really quite bad actually, because of course many people played it over the years with very sort of thick record players and needles, so it's very worn. You only kind of possibly hear what you may think she could have sounded like. Of course her son, Prince Edward, really engaged in the world's media, a little bit like Prince Philip did decades later when he suggested that the coronation be televised. Her Majesty the Queen was a little bit nervous about it, but she deferred to him on this occasion. And it's all thanks to, of course, the late Duke of Edinburgh that we have that wonderful celebration, that coronation way back in the early 50s to look upon, because, you know, even the Queen Mother didn't think it was a good idea. She felt it was too intrusive. He put his naval foot down and won the day. So now they're trying to look at a different way to celebrate the life of our wonderful late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. And the idea really is that so people who may have not, obviously when you think about it, there are people born right now in a brand new age. So in years to come, if they walk through the park and are able to press a button and hear the voice of a monarch who reigned for 70 years, what a delightful thing to do. And as ever, I would say, isn't it strange, because Queen Victoria would never have assumed all those years ago that in 2022 we'll be able to press a button in the middle of a London park, which was near her private home, Kensington Palace, and hear her voice. That truly is history in the making. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.